So let's talk about this number one wealthy mindset shift that you need to make if you truly want to take control of your finances and navigate this rigged system. And yes, okay, the system is rigged. And you might be asking, who rigged the system? Well, of course, it's your friends, okay, over at the big banks, big corporations, and the government, of course. And you might be asking why. Why did they rig the system? Well, to make money, of course. The unfortunate truth is that the government and the big banks have been grooming you since you were a kid to get used to giving them your money. Now, I want you to think about this, because since you were a kid, you've been hearing this language that if you want to be something in this world, you need to go to school, get good grades, get a degree so you can get a great job and work your way up. Or the only two things that are certain in life are death and taxes. You were told to not take any risks, to always play it safe. And let's say you did ever make any money, they told you to not spend it all in one place, kid. This old school mentality, it's really what this is really scarcity language. Okay, and this language really starts to force you down a certain path in which you're going to live your life. And you start to develop what we call the employee mindset. Okay, and this is a way of thinking. And the biggest problem with this mindset is that we only learn how to work for money and really exchange time for money. We only learn how to live on a cash system. And we only learn how to use cash as currency. And because of that, we relentlessly focus on accumulating cash. And that's why most people spend their entire lives, chasing a dollar. Okay, the critical problem with this employee mindset is that there, simply put, is no leverage. You are exchanging hours for dollars. And the minute you stop exchanging for those hours for dollars, right, the dollars are going to stop coming in. Right? So if you stop going to work, you're going to stop getting paid. It takes your time in order to keep the money coming in. Okay, that's exchanging hours for dollars. Now, do wealthy folks want to accumulate cash? Yes, they do, right? But they want to do it in a different way, right? And that is not their focus. Right? Accumulating cash is not their focus. Cash accumulation is a byproduct of the two things that wealthy people focus on creating relentlessly in their life and in their business, which is cash flow and leverage. Okay, those are the two things. So what is cash flow? Well, cash flow is your income minus all of your expenses. What's left over? That's your cash flow. Okay, it's the money you have left over after all of your bills are paid for the month. And see, in life, we're taught to focus on what we make, right? Our gross annual salary or our hourly pay, and not so much about what we keep, okay? And this is truly the mindset shift that we need to make here. Okay, you see, wealthy people, they think completely different. You see, they have, what's called a wealthy mindset. You see, wealthy mindset individuals, they're not interested in exchanging time for money. Okay, they know their time is much more valuable than that. Wealthy mindset individuals are not interested in using cash as currency. They know that there's a better use for cash and a different way to use cash. You see, and wealthy mindset individuals aren't interested in exchanging their time for money. Wealthy mindset individuals are not interested in exchanging or using cash as currency. You see, wealthy individuals use cash as velocity to pay down their debts quickly and reduce interest payments. They create leverage in lines of credit, and they then use that leverage as currency. That's why most rich people aren't carrying cash. They usually put everything on a card. They're using leverage as currency. And they use it to pay for their lifestyle, okay, their monthly expenses. And since the lines are simple interest, they then turn around and leverage those lines of credit to pay off their expensive amortized loans much, much quicker and save a boatload of money in interest. You see, wealthy mindset individuals are not interested in sending their extra cash to loans. They know that once they send in that extra principal, they lose access to it, and they lose all the leverage to the banks. Wealthy mindset individuals also don't use bank savings accounts, right? Because the banks are not paying you very much interest there. And you can see what they get to do with that money. They get to go charge somebody else an amortized loan. Well, they turn around and give you a fraction of a point in interest. Okay, there's different vehicles, right? Do you want to have a liquidity fund? Yes, you do. But there's other vehicles like cash value life insurance, for example, where you can put that money there and have a liquidity vehicle. But wealthy mindset individuals do not use bank savings accounts. So what would the wealthy do? And what would the wealthy do with our average American household scenario to help them get out of debt much, much quicker? Well, now that you know the difference between a line and a loan, the importance of cash flow, and the power of leverage. Let's take the next step here. And let me show you how this powerful velocity banking strategy works and how we're going to use it to help this average American household get out of debt in a fraction of the time here with their current income. And we're going to uncover that in the next training.